Are we sure blinking means go?
It's blinking. Well, my face ain't on the cover of the Rolling Stone. But from East Nashville to Berry Hill, I am well known. And I may not be the picture of fortune and fame. But around these parts, mother truckers know my name. Yeah. 'Cause I'm a Nashville superstar. I got a quarter tank of gas in my fiance's car. It don't get me too far, just from my couch to the bar. I can sit up on a stool and play my broken guitar. No, I ain't Garth Brooks, playing the part of a Nashville superstar. No, my name ain't up under any marquee lights. I played the last show at 12th and Porter 2 times. And though my videos can't be seen on CMT, well, you can catch the Billups show if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook at Anthony Billups. Yeah, that's right. But you can follow this podcast at Woody_Bighead. We are Woody and the Big Head. Welcome to Woody and the Big Head.
Oh, yeah. The crowd goes wild.
I am Anthony Billups. That was my music. I am the special guest today. And so is Troy Woods. He's Woody. Anthony Billups, you can call me for these purposes, the Big Head.
That's right.
It's not just a clever title. I got a massive dome. Some of my nicknames throughout life, Mega Noggin.
Mega Noggin.
My friends back home, they want to specify that my nickname is actually just Head. It's just that Woody and the Big Head has a better ring to it.
Okay, all right. Just Head.
So why are we here? I did a bad job in episode 1 explaining as to who we are and why we're here. So we'll do that now. To provide some context, I grew up just like Troy did, playing a lot of sports, and then ended up getting into music. And then over the last however many years we've both been doing that, we've enjoyed our time speaking to our music buddies about sports. So we decided to start a podcast that talks to our music and art buddies about sports. So
Yep.
here we are. All right. And by that way, we'll be able to share all of our creations and have a good time doing it. For me personally, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Missouri, so I'm going to talk a lot about the Chiefs, the Royals, and depending on how they play, the Missouri Tigers.
Hey.
So not really going to be talking about them right now. Per the Royals, I'm also not going to be talking about them, so it's going to be a lot of Chiefs
It is, yeah.
out of me. And on that note, my Chiefs
Oh, man.
are 2-0. Won a big Thursday night game, and all we've heard about is how the Chargers lost it. But last I checked, as my father says, it ain't how, it's how many.
Yeah.
And we won that game, didn't we?
You sure did with Herbert hurt.
That's
Yes.
all right. Injuries are part of the game. You got to play through that stuff. If
They
you
are.
throw it directly to the other team, Jalen Watson.
Yeah, that was before the injury, I'm pretty sure.
He gone.
Was
He wasn't even hurt.
terrible throw, but yeah. But hey, I will say this. I stand by what I said. Get your lumps in now. Beat them up now, cuz they're coming. They're coming. It's not this year. May not even be next year, but
Sure.
that team's he's gonna be that guy. He's gonna be another mainstay like Phillip Rivers was, I think.
Been about 4 years hearing about how good he is, and no worries. I mean, he's good, but
he's not.
Last, he's great, but last I checked, you evaluate quarterbacks based on wins and losses. So he is Troy Woods. Troy, tell him a little bit about your story.
My story, grew up playing sports and started playing music. I started drumming at 3, singing around 5, just always around music and sports. So the irony of being in a podcast that talks about sports and music with our music buddies, and music with our sports buddies is right on the nail on the head. I grew up down in Florida doing a bunch of Florida stuff.
Speaking of Florida stuff, we met each other. This guy was riding on his skateboard at a 4th of July party, and I had a football, and I saw him riding through the driveway there at the place that was called the Castle, and we were having a good time, and I was throwing footballs at him. He was catching them on the skateboard, and we did that for about an hour.
We did.
And then we go on for 8, 9, 10 years, something like that, playing shows together. We played a few hundred shows.
Yeah.
And we got together and started this podcast. So we appreciate everybody listening. We have no idea what we're doing. No idea.
No,
we're just turning on mics.
Making it up as we go along.
Yeah. So, any advice, you can stick that up your rear ends. I'm going to try to do a better job of not cussing on this show.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right, we are Woody and the Big Head. All right, so today's show, episode number 2, we're going to talk a lot about NFL football. That's what we're going to do most of the time. That's not only what we love the most, but it's also kind of the time of the year. We got a lot to say about our teams. Didn't even get into your team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but we will.
Oh, we will.
We're going to talk about the Chiefs. We're going to talk about what's wrong with the Titans as we are in Nashville.
That's right.
We're going to talk about the best concert ever. Don't let the T-shirt fool you. And what's going on next week. So, first of all, whatever you have to do for these podcasts, follow, subscribe, do all those things. Thanks to Two Rivers Ford. Every day I thank the Lord for my Two Rivers Ford.
Sometimes when I'm watching the Titans, I get bored, but thank the Lord for Two Rivers Ford.
Sometimes I drink too many beers and keep my wife up all night because I snored, but she still loves me because of my Two Rivers Ford. Two Rivers Ford is they're giving us a giveaway per show maybe, and this week's giveaway, if you like, you follow, you share, whoever we see doing the most, right? We're going to give away 2 tickets, club level, to the Raiders at the Titans.
Club level, y'all.
So go Titans for that one, because ruck the Faders. All right,
Hey.
Our teams. We touched on my Chiefs, big W. Like I said, like my dad always said, it ain't how, it's how many.
That's right.
And, I'll talk shit, but I tip my hat to the Chargers, man. They were out playing us, and they were playing us tough, and they're a tough team.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's about who wins and who loses. So I won't go down there too much on my Chiefs.
Second half adjustments, though.
Yeah, that's right. It's a big
Chiefs,
part of it.
Second half adjustments, man.
That's a huge part of it, and I'm really proud of my team going 2-0.
That's right.
And remaining at the top of the AFC right now. So let's talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How'd they
Bucks,
do?
baby. They did. It was kind of a slow start again, but man, the defense showed up. There was like a stat. I think it was like 5 games in a row we had lost to the Saints. Not that any of it mattered, because scoreboard still went to the Super Bowl, still won.
Tommy was hearing about that.
Oh, and and they were pissed, and the Saints were pissed because they're like, "Oh, you never beat us," and man, you could just feel the emotion in that game. And then one time, somebody chirped to Tommy, and Mike Evans was like, "Nope, that's my quarterback, bro," and went in on Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah, but see, I heard Bart Scott, and I love Bart Scott, talking about it today, and he was talking about how he got a 5-yard head start and blindside pushed him, and it was saying that maybe dude wasn't so tough. But how about the fight was between Tom Brady and the iPad?
Oh yeah, he tossed that iPad. He even on his Instagram, he was like, "Sorry guys, I'll replace that iPad or tablet or whatever it was." But yeah, we got the W. That's all that matters. And then the 1-game suspension now from Mike Evans, which is not good because we're thin at wide receivers right now.
And you have who this week? Is it the Packers? I think it's Green Bay.
Question. Yes, I believe it is Green Bay.
Green Bay, Tampa Bay, big game, and you're out a receiver. You know what I said about it when I saw him getting mad and throwing the iPad is I said, it just looks like a guy in a fight with his wife.
You
Been there.
speaking from
Been
experience.
there. Every time. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to throw this iPad. I get a little touchy thumbs. I can't remember the code, and I'm just like, hell with it. I'll throw this iPad.
Just
Throw it and realize that I still got it.
You feel better. Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
ooh, that was a heater.
So on my picks, for those of you following along with our picks, we got about 23 followers. So I know you guys are really anxiously awaiting my picks. Week 1 went 12-4. This week
good.
went 9-7. That's still pretty good. You know what I mean? Couple of surprises in there. Like I didn't see the Jets beating the Browns. Wow.
Did not.
Go Jets. I did see the Lions getting a big dub. Way to go, Lions.
Yeah.
What do you think about them Hard Knocks?
Man, I think that Campbell, I believe it was Dan Campbell, he has changed the attitude and personality of that team. They have some confidence. You see it in them, and that's really cool to see that, and man, Jared Goff, talk about a guy that was just written off. It's like, it's good to see him doing some spinning it,
Yeah, by everyone. Go Lions, like I said early on, and at some point we're going to refer back to these clips, probably when I learn how to edit film. But I said, after watching one episode of Hard Knocks, I'm like, I'm back. I'm here with the Lions, man. I want them to be good.
Yeah.
For the city of Detroit, for my friends that are Lions fans, for the Barry Sanders, Herman Moore, and Scott Mitchell days. By
right.
God, I love that team, and I would love for them to be good.
Herman Moore, man. When I used to play Madden, like back in the day, I was always
I wanted up to 8-4.
all the time.
I did see the Giants winning against Carolina. The Giants, sneaky 2-0 team.
Sneaky 2-0.
Are the Giants good?
The Giants are decent. They're better than they were for sure, which is Saquon, man. He's back. Saquon's playing.
Say what? Saquon. All right, so New England beats Pittsburgh. New England was favored. I picked that one wrong. All right, I'm sorry, I picked that one right.
Ooh.
We have the Jags. Jacksonville. Look out. Dougie P. He's got them playing. A lot like the Lions, man. It's like, all it takes is the old change of culture.
Change the culture, that's
and,
right.
And if you can come in and make folks believe about it, and that goes to everything, whatever you do in life, right? If you can change the way that people feel in your business or whatever you're doing, my God, it's crazy what you're capable of. I hope, for the sake of Ryan Nelson, that this is the year for the Jags.
Bro, if the Jags pull off a season where they actually make the playoffs, man, Ryan, we ain't gonna be able to tell Ryan nothing.
I'm gonna, I'll cheer against them, but if they beat the Chiefs or something in the playoffs, that's just gonna be a feel-good story, and it'll never happen. So how about the Dolphins and the Ravens?
How about them?
Yowzers!
What
a great game.
Yeah, I got a bunch of friends down south, and we got a buddy in Justin Brault who's gonna be on the show. He's
Jay Breezy.
Oh yeah, he's a Dolphins fan. Man, you can never tell Dolphins fans anything anyways because they're always ready to go. But hey man, Tua's starting to kind of chirp at the haters a little bit.
Look, man, that's going to be a good team if they can keep it going 2-0. Wow,
Yep.
There you go. And the thing is that two things can be true. Tyreek Hill can be a great player, and the Chiefs can be a great team. And we'll see what pans out here. We've got the Rams eking one out against Atlanta.
Yeah.
Go Falcons. Good for the Rams. I'm glad they won. I hate that Trey Lance had to go out like that, especially in the Seattle at San Francisco game, especially after the video came out of him making it rain at the strip club or whatever. Did
Hey,
you see
man.
that? Hey, come on. I'll be making it rain too.
Dude, like we're in just a social media time. Like, you know how many, oh my gosh.
If I had millions at the age of 23
Yeah.
in the social media age, I didn't even have money at 23, and I'm glad it wasn't a social media age.
Bro, oh, are you kidding me? Yeah.
This picture of me tossing up A1.
Yeah.
Here's $1.
Here's $1.35.
But Jimmy G's back. Hope the best for Trey Lance. Injuries are stupid.
I think he's got two. They said he's got two things wrong with that ankle or something like that.
Eek.
Yeah. It's all right. He needed to have time to recuperate and go over the offense, and we wish him a speedy recovery.
Cincinnati at Dallas. Dallas ekes out the dub at home. I said it too, and we're going to have to refer back to these again if I can learn how to edit film, is that in the vocal tracks, is that I predicted the Bengals are going to bungle. Sometimes teams, when they start feeling themselves too much, and it might have something to do with old Joey Bureau of Investigation, missing some of the preseason. They started off slow and looked down and out last year, and they might recover. But I'm going to stick by that, man. I think you start feeling yourselves too much, and you start losing that humility.
Yeah.
And the football gods or God himself or the world, the universe, whatever you believe in, will sneak up and be like, nah.
Yeah, they were putting up the lineup from last year, and like countless guys are different. And from year to year, people who follow the NFL closely know this. It's not always the same team. Man, my Bucks went and just ran the table and got them a ring, and then the next year the defense was just hurt all year. So you never got the same team, man. It's hard to keep the same team together in NFL, and you're seeing it right now with the Bengals bungling, like you said.
Speaking of teams that aren't as good as they want to believe they are, the Donkeys they had a struggle at home against the Texans. Look, man, I'm so tired of. Hey, look, Russell Wilson, I've been hearing his whole career about how great of a quarterback he is and how incredible he is, but I just don't believe it. You know what I mean? It's like everybody goes back to why didn't they run that ball to Marshawn? And it's like, why did he throw that ball right to Butler or whatever? Butler made a great play.
Doink.
But it's like, all I've been hearing, everybody's been trying to convince me of his entire career how great Russell Wilson is, and I've never really seen it.
Yeah, those people talking about that have always talked about his ability to extend plays with his legs, but that was when Seattle had great teams and he could do that. Their line was huge, and he had that time to do that. If he's on a bad team, he's not going to have time to do that, and it's going to make any quarterback who's supposed to be great look pedestrian.
Yeah, well, look, it could have been that he was kind of towards the beginning of quarterbacks doing that.
Right.
We'll see. But I don't fear the Broncos at all. So I also don't feel the Faders or Raiders. I'm a Raider hater. I've been a Raider hater my whole life. I definitely don't fear them. What an incredible game by Kyler Murray.
Wow, what a comeback.
I feel like it's going to be up and down with him. One week you're going to be like, why'd they give him that money? And then the next week he's going to do that 2-point conversion. You'll be like, oh, that's why they gave him
One
that
week
money.
they're going to be like, oh, he played Call of Duty too long, and then...
Yeah,
and then
he must have studied his 4 hours of...
required 4 hours of film. Wow. Talk about...
He wasn't up doing Fortnite or whatever the kids call it nowadays.
Talk about, like, making you feel like you're, like... in 13th grade there. Like, oh
man, Packers going Pack. They took care of the Bears. Sorry to my Bears fans. You had your week, guys and gals. You had your week. And
in the monsoon.
Now you're back to being Bears. All right, so Troy, what's wrong with the Titans?
Well, what's wrong with the Titans is, and listen, we love the Titans. It's our hometown team. When our teams aren't playing, we're rooting for the Titans, And but man, that team, it's just unfortunately it's just not good, man. There's a lot of defensive woes. They are, heard the stat earlier today. They are 30th or 31st in points allowed and yards allowed in the league, and it is showing. Traylon Burks is not A.J. Brown. For those of you who thought he might be.
Well, and on that note, here's I love Mike Vrabel. Since he played in college,
he's the right coach.
He's the right coach. He's great, and I hope that he doesn't have to take the blame for everything. I don't know John Robinson as a person. Again, here on the Woody and Big Head podcast. We separate art from artist, performance from performer.
Right.
And but that's where it has to fall. I mean, there's been a couple of things where you're seeing some, he's a younger guy, and maybe sometimes that gives you a little bit of a ego, and I can relate to it. I was one too at one point. But, he's starting to make decisions where you're like, well, I mean, I appreciate you getting the picks or whatever for A.J. Brown. But then you go out and draft somebody. You have to develop people. A.J. Brown was a rookie 3 or 4 years ago.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And now he's great. My God.
He's killing it in Philly.
Yeah, it looks like Philly is just they're pretty daggum smart right there.
Yeah. Super.
And, I'm hoping for the Titans. Most notably, I hope Taylor Lewan's all right. And,
Yes.
and that injury is not a long one. And I hope they can figure it out. You know what I mean? Because the city's better.
Oh, it is.
When the Titans are better. I like Ryan Tannehill, but, it's like you can only do so much. And maybe he's not an over-the-top guy. And, time will tell here. Look. There's 11%, I think, of 0-2 teams for the last, 100 million years or whatever have made it to the playoffs. And, they do have a chance because they are in the AFC South.
Hashtag AFC South.
Still got a puncher's chance.
Still got a puncher's chance.
In the AFC South, and the Colts look terrible.
Dude, I'm calling it right now. The Jaguars are beating the Titans in one of their matchups this year.
Oh, maybe the Jags are for real.
I don't know if they're for real, but I know that Derrick Henry it's all on him. And every team knows it. And so like if they're stopping the run, it's just last night, man. They didn't even belong it looked bad.
Well, look, it was 7-7, and I was like, all right.
You're right?
Maybe there's a chance here because I need the Bills to lose. By God, I do not want Chiefs going to Buffalo.
They ain't gonna
in the playoffs. So hopefully,
hopefully
somebody figures them out. Here, the 2-minute warning for my good buddy Rob Snyder and his beloved Eagles. Are the Eagles for real?
Man, they're better.
Yowzer.
I'll say they're
Jalen
better.
Hurts played great last night, man.
Great.
I needed 10 points out of Jake Elliott and to win my fantasy football game, and Jalen Hurts really hogged all those points. But man, did he do great!
He did great. I think that that's a good question. Are they for real? They're better.
Man, when you think about it, really over the last 20 years, when they had Andy Reid and since, they've maybe had 1 or 2 down years. They've been really good for the last 2 decades.
They've been a really good team for a while. Yeah, you had all those years with Donovan, and man, I couldn't help but kind of reminisce about Donovan when Jalen was running all over the place last night. I was like, this is textbook Donovan McNabb when he was really doing well.
Yeah, well, look, hey, Donovan McNabb never got near enough credit.
No,
he was awesome. I loved watching him play. And I never thought he got enough credit.
Everybody thought he was like lazy or something. I'm like, what?
No, he was good. He made T.O. cry. You know what I mean? That's my quarterback. That's what Mike Evans was. That's my quarterback. All right, so we're going to go into halftime. We're going to come out of halftime talking about the best concert ever, next week's games, and then we're going to end the show. So coming up for our halftime entertainment, for those of you who don't know, Mr. Troy Woods, a.k.a. Woody, is an incredible singer-songwriter, artist, as well as a drummer, and he's going to be our halftime entertainment today. So, y'all, here comes some Troy Woods out of YouTube, video, and Songland.
Oh, yeah, City Limit, y'all.
And I don't need that high 'Cause what I want is what I need is you, me, tequila, and a Cumbia breeze, sunset and palm trees in my arms, spray on beat, maybe leave that concrete world behind so we can see the starlight. You're a spot on one-way ticket, 'cause I've reached my city limit. Sure, I guess I kinda love the fast lane. And every now and then we hit the club, but there ain't nothing better than the smell of coconut and sand when I'm lying next to you. 'Cause what I want is what I need is you, me, tequila, and a Cumbia breeze, sunset and palm trees in my arms, spray on beat, maybe leave that concrete world behind so we can see the starlight. You're a spot on one-way ticket, 'cause I've reached my city limit. 'Cause I've reached my limit. I've been in the city. Let's get a one-way ticket. Girl, are you with me? 'Cause what I want is what I need is you, me, tequila, and a Cumbia breeze, sunset and palm trees in my arms, spray on beat, maybe leave that concrete world behind so we can see the starlight. My city limit.
Y'all, that is Troy Woods. Troy, I love the video.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Love the song.
Thanks, dude.
What do you got going on new in music? Anything?
Man, yeah, I'm in the studio right now, doing 3 new songs. Looking to release them either later this year or beginning of next year. And yeah, called One More Chance, Girl Somewhere, and Underground. There's gonna be, I might be do a little EP. Really excited about those songs. I got to write them with some really talented writers in town. Zach Dyer, who just got a cut with John Party on a song called Reverse Cowgirl.
I love Zach.
Zach's amazing. Matt Ferranti, Rufio.
Also love Matt.
Yeah. Some shout outs to some Tin Roof OGs. Rufio as well. Rufio got a cut with as a song called Butter, which is BTS, yeah, I believe so. And yeah, so some really talented writers, man. Just fortunate that I have a lot of talented friends that I got to write some music with. So yeah, really excited in the studio and working on stuff to come out. Get some new songs, new photos, and all kinds of stuff coming.
Well, man, that's one of the coolest things about Nashville is that you get to meet so many incredible, talented folks. You know, Music City is still Music City. If you've never been here, you should come here and have a great time. And don't be, you know, too upset by locals like me honking and flipping you off on your buses, being like, you know, damn you. You know,
I'm like,
it's great. It's incredible city, man, and it still has it. You know, I'm an old head. I've been here coming up on 20 years, right? In the area, went to college, and stayed here. So I'm getting close to being the old man, get off my lawn guy.
Yeah.
But there's still those moments where you're like, this is Nashville. And that's what we want to highlight in this podcast. We want to show you our friends and how incredibly talented they are. And we want to talk about this city that we love more than, you know, any city in the world. With no respect or no disrespect to any of the other ones. It is the greatest city in the world that I've ever been to. And I haven't been to a lot of them, but I digress. I love Nashville so much. And there's never been a moment more of me loving Nashville than Friday night, Bridgestone Arena, Pearl Jam.
Oh, dude.
Oh my God.
What an experience. I
Wow.
saw the pictures.
Oh, the energy in that building for anybody out there who was there, you killed it. It was just like, well, before I get into it too much, I want to thank Two Rivers Ford.
Yeah.
That was one of their giveaways. And like I said, we're just going to look and see, who's sharing it, who's liking it, and who's doing the most to help this podcast out. And they said that they had 2 tickets to give away for Pearl Jam, and I was like, me.
Yeah. In.
So got to go with my buddy Anthony Adams, man. And Anthony Adams was real proud of the first podcast episode. He listened to it, and we came out of the gates with Dope Rope, and he was really excited about that. And so Anthony and I, we met 15 years ago,
Dude.
and we were sitting at in a bar. Trying to play an open mic back in the Nashville scene days when you would have to go through the paper to figure out where the open mics were. And so we ended up at the same bar, and I got there first, and they were like, we're not having the open mic anymore. It's called Past Perfect was the bar. And I was like, oh, damn, well, I guess I'll sit here and drink beer. And I hear this guy come in. He's like, yeah, I hear there's an open mic. And they're like, oh, we're not having it. He's like, damn. And I'm like, hey, have a beer with me.
That's how you met Anthony?
Yeah, I'm like, what's your name? He's like, Anthony. I said, my name's Anthony. And I handed him a business card, and my business card said Anthony E. Billups. He's like, E, what's your middle name? I'm like, Edward. He's like, my middle name's Edward. I was like, no way, dude. And so my studio back then was above what is now the Johnny Cash Museum. So we went over there and we hung out, and we broed down about Pearl Jam, and we played guitar and played each other's songs. So we got to go to that show together. So already...
Yeah.
The my energies up there. I also got to go with my wife and my mother-in-law. Got 2 extra tickets, so we're all at this Pearl Jam concert. And man, I guess just you realize they're like in their 60s, so you're like, is it going to be like a Pearl Jam show, or is it going to be just old dudes playing music? And then you realize at the show, all that means is they've been doing it for 40 years.
The pros.
And oh my God, Eddie started sitting down. And by the end, he was jumping around like he was, in his 20s. And I think that was just because of Nashville, man. I've been to shows elsewhere, but there's a different energy at every show I go to in Nashville. And I think that's because a vast majority of the crowd, or a lot of people in the crowd, are musicians.
Absolutely.
And people that just love, like for me, is my first Pearl Jam concert. All right, I'm 39 years young. Don't judge me. But when I was 8 years old, my very first cassette tape, Pearl Jam.
Dude.
You know what I mean? When I first got my first car, driving around listening to Pearl Jam. 19 years old, first year after college, driving around, following my buddies Earl and Steve on their band, just play Pearl Jam, and just that it's been such a big part of my life.
Yeah.
And also the song Nothing Man is like every time I'm in a fight with my wife, which isn't often, it's like, once or twice a day, I go listen to Nothing Man, once divided, the lyrics. And she once believed in every story he had to tell, and I cry to myself in my truck or whatever. So I was telling everybody, all I want to hear is Nothing Man. So when they drop the lights, and it comes out, he starts off with Nothing Man.
Oh my!
Oh man! And so the whole show was just incredible, man. It was so great, and I'm gonna say it now. I can't believe I'm saying this. Best musical experience concert I've ever been to in my life.
That's pretty big.
Way to go, Pearl Jam.
Dude, I didn't know you were a Pearl Jam guy.
Oh, I'm a Pearl Jam guy.
Isn't that hilarious how long I've known you? I did not know you loved Pearl Jam.
That never really fits into the old Monday afternoon 3 to 6:30
No,
at 10
we're not usually
gig.
playing Better Man. Better Man.
We can, though. We could do it if we start doing that show.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Dude,
so what's your go ahead, sorry.
what were you saying? What's my what?
Well, I was going to ask you, what's your
My favorite musical experience?
your favorite concert
One of the
ever.
okay. I think I have mine recently happened too. So in 2019, my wife and I I'll rewind all the way back. First of all, my comment First of all, my comment to your story is I saw Anthony recently down in Franklin because he works at a bar down in Franklin, like this bar and like really, 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 really good burger place.
Is it Kimbro's? Do you work at
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's like I can't remember the name of it. They're gonna kill me. But it became kind of a tradition for my wife's birthday. She loves to ride horses, so we go down there, we ride some horses, and then we go into downtown Franklin and we have a burger and a beer, and at this place. And Anthony works there, and I saw Anthony walk by. I said, Anthony, I said, dude, I didn't know you worked here. He's like, Troy? I was like, yeah, dude. So we got to talking and catching up, and he's doing great, obviously. So it's so cool that you got to see Anthony and hang out with him. But yeah, so fast forward. So my best experience is pretty cool because I had it with my wife. At the time, we were just engaged. But our favorite band, one of our favorite bands, is the 1975. And if nobody has ever heard of the 1975, you're gonna need to go listen to them.
I'm gonna go listen to
They're
them.
amazing. They're really cool. And we saw them at Ascend, and it's the coolest. It's the best concert I've ever seen at Ascend. It's the best concert by far I've ever seen in Nashville, and I've seen a bunch. And I just loved it. It was euphoric. It was really cool. Like it just, it was awesome. And yeah, it was they played a bunch of my favorite songs of theirs. But I encourage anybody out there who doesn't know who the 1975 is, go check them out.
So Pearl Jam, they leaped the one, the only Garth Brooks. They put Garth in second place for me.
Wow.
And then rounding out the top three would be Incubus.
Dude.
Love some Incubus, man. Who rounds out your top three?
So you and I have 1 and 2 the same. Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
I was 11.
Garth's the man.
I was 11 years old, and I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. When I saw it was 1997, and I saw him in Orlando, Florida, and it was like, yep, this is what I'm gonna do with my life.
So similar story. 98 for me, double live. I was 13. You're a young man.
Yeah.
And saw him with my father, and I was the same. I was like, that's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But, I kept playing baseball until I couldn't anymore, and here I am. So let's
Right.
go into the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter.
Thanks for talking music there, Troy. That was fun.
Absolutely.
Way to go, music, and way to go, Garth.
That's right.
Also, way to go, Ed. I appreciate that. Old Eddie Vedder, man. That was incredible, and you still got it, kid. You still got it. All right. So we got a big so Troy is a big Florida Gator fan.
Yes.
And Florida Gators have a new head coach this year, right?
New coach.
New coach, and they're trying to do that thing we call changing the culture.
That's right.
And had a pretty all right season so far, starting off at 2-1, going to UT, which we have a lot of. Out of our 23 listeners, I think 18 of them are UT fans. So let's jibber jabber at those UT folks.
Oh, jibber jabber at them. I'm not a big talking before the game guy because I don't like dealing with the
Because they won by like 75 last game. Yeah, it wouldn't be jibber jabbering.
Yeah. So, but I'm excited. Like people are like, oh, that's just, you're just being nice or whatever. But I really am excited that Tennessee is good again because that, for those of you who don't know, or if you live under a rock, Florida and Tennessee are bitter rivals. It's been a rivalry for many, many years. And for a long while, Tennessee hasn't kind of been up to snuff. And Josh Heupel has finally got the Volunteers playing some good football. So I'm excited to see a good game. I don't know if it's me in my older age, but, you just want to see a good game. Playing in Knoxville, really cool. I would. I mean, I'm just hoping for a good game. Obviously, I want my Gators to win. But we'll see what happens, man.
Well, as a one-time baseball player, when I was a teenager, loved Florida.
Yeah,
they had a great baseball program.
Still do.
I had my Gators hat that I would rock around. I'll find that picture for you somewhere.
Oh,
I like when they say bitter rivals. Is there another?
Yeah,
Like really sweet
there is.
rivals.
Yeah, right.
We love
right.
you. We're rivals, but
We're
I
decent,
wish you
yeah.
the best.
Yeah,
That's
bitter
just
rivals.
probably the AFC South feels that way about each other. All right, going into next week's NFL game so we can catch up on them.
Yeah.
We got Bills at Dolphins. Jay Breezy, Justin Braults.
Woo!
Go Dolphins.
Oh, go Dolphins.
What if the Dolphins win
Fins.
that?
The
Wow.
Fins.
What if?
Dude.
You know, boy can dream. I need other teams to win. I don't fear the Dolphins. No offense.
Yeah.
And I don't fear the Bills either, but daggum, they looking good.
Yeah, you should.
You know, the Bills, 13 seconds.
Y'all better get that.
Yeah.
Y'all better get that defense ready.
Yeah, it's 13 seconds. I'm sure we all have a story about 13 seconds. That first time
I mean,
where it looked like the Bills were going to win and the Chiefs won.
yeah, but hey, man. I mean, let's just write the chalk right now. AFC Championship, Bills and Chiefs.
Bills, Chiefs.
It's gonna be another matchup, man. That's pretty cool, though, isn't it? Like, just quickly, for that to be a thing where like the Bills and the Chiefs meet year after year, just fighting it out for the AFC.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's been a while since you've had, you know, I think you had a lot of, you had Peyton and Tom Brady, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a thing. And then, you know, maybe Tom would always beat Peyton, kind of a
Yeah,
deal.
the Steelers were in there some, and
Roethlisberger, maybe
Yep.
that's the new Dolphins.
Right.
You know, who knows? Well, it's just 2 weeks, but the NFL season's already off to a great start, and it's getting really exciting. We got Lions at Vikings.
ooh,
Man, look, I hope the Lions win that game, man.
Dude.
Statement game for the Lions. I really appreciate the coaching staff, and like, you know, it's cool to see when you get that many members. And granted, all the coaching staffs, you have all these coaches that have coached in the NFL for an extended period of time. What I love about the Lions in general is they have all these coaches that were players that had long, like over 80, 90 years NFL experience. And I just love to see that because I grew up watching those dudes. And so it has to provide you something. So I hope it materializes, and I hope it becomes something.
Yeah.
And I certainly enjoy watching it. So go Lions there. You have the Eagles at the whatever Washington is.
the Commanders.
Yeah, those. I hope the Eagles win that game.
The Eagles are looking like they're going to be, like I said, we can go back in the tape. I called it for the Eagles being the NFC East champs.
Be poetic justice if Andy Reid beats the Eagles in the
man.
Super Bowl. It'd be great. You got Jags at Chargers. For sake of our buddy Ryan Nelson, go Jags.
Yep.
Come on, put it together and beat those pesky Chargers. And then don't forget about our giveaway. If you go, you like, you follow, you share, you tell your friends, you tag us, or whatever the things are that the kids do to promote podcasts. We don't even know. I don't even listen to podcasts.
I do.
You go and you do that, and we see you doing it. By God, you can win 2 club-level tickets for the Raiders at the Titans this Sunday, thanks to Two Rivers Ford.
2 tickets, y'all. Come on, y'all go get them, man. Whoever wants to stream it, do whatever you got to do. But we just need to be in your TV. We need to be in your computer, your laptop, your phone.
From city to city and coast to coast,
That's right.
I've toured in my Two Rivers Ford. So go do that, y'all. We appreciate you so much. We are Woody and the Big Head at Woody_Big Head on Instagram, and wherever you can find us, Woody and the Big Head on podcast streaming formats. I'm going to carry us out. Old me, the musical guest here to end the show. This week, my grandpa John, grandpa of about the last 30 years of my life, he married my grandmother, Nanny Ma Trudy. He passed away this past week, sitting in his lazy boy. What a way to go. You're going to hear this story, and it's going to kick off a song that I have. What are you on the streaming platforms? Troy Woods?
Troy
for
Woods,
music.
that's right. Yep.
Go listen to Troy Woods music. You can find me, Anthony, not Tony, and Billups like Bill works at UPS on most of those deals. And I'm going to carry us out.
Get it.
One of my favorite songs I've ever written, with my buddies Tom O'Connor and Chris Canterbury. And my hero,
It's
called Van Man.
Oh, Van
my
Man, get it.
grandfather, he passed away. I'll never forget what he said to me when I bought a van. He looked at me just like the loving grandfather that he was. And he said, "What kind of man gets a van?" And I said, "Papa, I'm playing music." So I'm a fan man.
There's Troy.
Guitar picker and a drummer in the back, Yamaha mixer and a Marshall stack, loaded down pat. I'm the king of the pack. I'm a van man. Van man. I got a 3-watt Cobra from a diesel wreck, breaker 19 radio check. The truckers all come back with respect. How about you, van man? Van man. Running round from town to town, hammer down on the highway. Load 'em in and out again, from Tuscaloosa to Texarkana, back to Monroe, Louisiana. 2-week run or a one-night stand. Van man, van man. Come rain, snow, sleet or shine, we ain't never not made it to a gig on time. In our 1986 Econoline, van man. Van man. Like that tornado back in 92 or the hurricane outside of Baton Rouge. There ain't no storm I can't drive through. I'm a van man. Van man. Running round from town to town, hammer down on the highway. Load 'em in and out again, from Albuquerque up to Cheyenne, Denver back down to Alabama. 2-week run or a one-night stand. Van man, van man. I got a fuzz buster on the dash, just walking that dog and kicking that cat. Band hauling, that's where it's at.
I'm passed out in the back.
I said now band hauling, that's where it's at. Van man. Running round from town to town, hammer down on the highway. Load 'em in and out again, from Tuscaloosa to Texarkana, back to Monroe, Louisiana. 2-week run or a one-night stand. Van man, van man. Just running through the land with a one-armed tan, and there ain't no cop that I ain't outran, 'cause I'm a van man.
That's right. I'm a van man. My name's Anthony Billups. That's Troy Woods.
Wow,
I'm the
yeah.
big head. He is Woody. Thank you all so much for listening and for watching. Until next week, we wish you all the best and I hope your teams win. Get it.